Hello, and welcome back to all humans and beyond. I don't even know if this is going to get uploaded. This is kind of one of those video journal moments more than a message. But there is information for you. One of the really hard questions I've been asking myself is why am I still going? It's going to be a little dark, but just kind of follow along. I used to say, because I used to be really pessimistic, the only reason I wake up in the morning is because I have insomnia, and I couldn't get back to sleep. Although that does kind of remain true. If the sun's up, I can't sleep. I have to have like complete blackout curtains and everything. But I've thought about it and I really asked myself, I'm like, why haven't I just ended it? Like, why haven't I just given up? I keep having really close moments to where I've made decisions that I can't take back. Luckily, I have made a better choice. I'm not gonna say right or wrong, it's just a choice that's for my better outcome, my higher good, a path that will sustain me and liberate me in a sense. But what I realized is I have to let go of hope completely. I'd realized a lot of times in my life, hope actually ruined me in a way. Let's read an actual Google definition because nobody carries around a dictionary anymore. And if you do, well, good for you. You're smarter than the rest of us. But I Google searched the definition. Hope is an optimistic state of mind that combines desire for a specific outcome with a belief. What does that mean? Well, just the first thing that popped in my head was, I hope to win the lottery. Yeah, I don't actually do. I don't buy lottery tickets. Nothing against it. It's just a metaphor, an analogy. Metaphor is not the right word. But I hope to buy the lottery tickets, and I believe if I buy enough tickets, I will. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I'm not saying boo. It's just a conclusion that I've drawn. That one does not help anymore. I do apologize about the lighting. I had to do this while I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of in a weird mood. So I realize it's not hope that's driving me. Perhaps it's the just sheer stubbornness of who I am. As much as I used to give up, as easy as it was, I always have had a drive to not give up on things I truly care about. I still do art. For years. I've told this story a few times. My dad would discourage it, be like, it's good for a talent, but you'll never make money. It's good for a talent, but it's never going to take you anywhere. Well, this isn't some comeback story. I actually haven't drawn in quite some time just because my situation. But then, you sit there and you hold on to a hope, a dream. Perhaps one day, my skill will lead me to the place I'm supposed to be. I really hope that. No. It's something I just choose to do. I do it without hope. I just do it for fun. And I am confident in my abilities. Maybe one day I'll land a job where I get to do art and hey, that'd be cool. But I don't hope for it anymore. And that actually allows me to enjoy it more, in a way. Where was I going with this, though? Specific. That train of thought kind of went off random. So I gave up hope on getting a job and hopes that it will take me somewhere. Instead, like I said, I just do it for fun. You know? And it's actually kind of freeing in a way. Because if you're... Let's put it this way. I believe or view hope as a wish. It's like looking off in the distance instead of looking at your own feet. Hope is like daydreaming. Not that daydreams can't come true, just... It feels like fantasy, in a way. And for the longest time, I kept hoping things would change. Hoping things would happen. Hoping the stars would align, and everything would be okay. I was hoping I wouldn't land in this scenario. Like I said, I was following a path that I believed to be right for me, and it led me to be homeless. And then my hope was extinguished. It's like, well, I don't understand, you know? So I had a desire to change my outcome, with a strong belief that it would. And yet here I am. Still. Like I said, it's been over two months, and I just spent my 33rd birthday sitting in the back seat of my car. Not that I didn't feel like doing anything for myself. I will still celebrate my birthday, it's just, I've been kind of tired. Picking a specific day, but that's not what this is about. I was hoping someone would come and save me from this situation, still. I had thought at some point I was going to get a roommate and be free of whatever was going to happen, and I wouldn't have to be homeless or jobless or whatever. But then it never came to fruition. It never happened. So I'm not trying to put people down and make you feel bad. This has a positive message within it. I know it seems really heavy right now. But my point is, hope is a distraction, in a sense. It keeps you looking over here instead of right here. I really wish I could do a video without getting emotional. Again, I'm processing emotions while I'm doing these. What I realize is keeping me going is faith. And I had to look up the definition for that one. Faith. Complete trust or confidence in someone or something. And I felt like a bad person because I don't have complete faith. Not complete. There are definitely days where it wanes and I wake up hating myself and hating life. Like I said, I feel like I did this to myself. Like I effed up, and somewhere along my journey I fucked up, and this is the results. And I hope to change and get out of this situation. But, like I said, I realized faith is what's keeping me going. There are days where I dip down, again, just like everyone. You lose confidence, you lose faith, you lose hope, and you don't see a way out of it. And then you push through it. And maybe it doesn't get better the next day. Maybe it doesn't improve immediately. But the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, we're going to have a talk about that one of these days. About God specifically. It's in my list of videos to do. This was a spur of the moment. But I like to call it just the universe, spirit, source. But again, the verse, universe. Talked about it in a previous video. Verse is a short version of saying universe. Now, I'm not speaking about the Bible specifically. So, universe, the verse. It's a Firefly reference. I have faith Not just in God or the universe, but myself. Because despite everything, I'm still here. And yeah, this situation's not anywhere what I had hoped for, or hoped for, or imagined, or believed. However, even though there's been a couple of rough times, more than a couple, I technically haven't gone without, other than sleep. Sleep is still a problem. But I've noticed, even though I'm dangling by a shoestring is what it feels like, I've still been able to keep going. I've still been able to move forward. Even if it doesn't look or feel like it. But I have faith in myself. Even if I didn't believe in the universe, and I feel like I have been abandoned from time to time, I still kind of work on those abandonment wounds. Because again, my hope and beliefs were based on what I perceived. I can't explain it, but I was led to believe that things wouldn't be this way, or there's something better on the horizon. And when that thing didn't come, I felt extremely abandoned, and my hope was gone. Unfortunately, that was a necessary part. I've had to be able to get over my abandonment wounds. But within looking in the situation, I now have faith. Faith that I will get through this. I ain't got the foggiest how. Like, I have no idea. But there are those days when I'm like at my super low, and maybe I'm ready to give up. And again, the next day is not the best day ever, but it's signs and synchronicities match and meet up. You meet that person at just the right time, and somebody does something wonderful for you. And again, it wasn't matching what my expectations were. And that just kind of robs you of joy. I apologize for the sirens. It's a little out of our control. But I did have one of those days when synchronicities lined up, like my birthday. It was just, it wasn't the birthday I planned. It wasn't the birthday I hoped for. But some things landed and synchronicities lined up, and up here it comes. Please be okay. I don't know why I decided to look right at it. That kind of hurt my retinas. Oh boy. But I have faith in myself, even if I didn't believe in God, like I was saying. I'm incredibly intelligent, and through... That's sounding kind of egotistical, but whatever. It's a gift I've realized within myself. I'm smart. Okay? That's confidence in myself. I always joked around. Even if I didn't have God, I have a big brain, and I'm stubborn as hell. And I always thought that was enough. And it has. It's gotten me through a lot. It's gotten me through so much. I can't attribute all of it to myself, of course. It's a 50-50, you know. God's doing some of the work, I'm doing some of the work kind of thing. But that's kind of where hope fails. Again, hope is like wishing on a star in my mind and just dreaming the perfect scenario happens. Faith goes through actions. I act. I don't just sit in the back of my car and imagine manifesting myself out of this situation. I do things to keep myself going. I act. I move forward regardless. Like, I was hungry for a while, a couple of weeks. I actually apparently was starting to starve a little bit. I had never experienced hunger like that. So I had to keep moving forward. I had faith that I'd get through it, and I did. I found food shelves, pantries, ways to eat even if I can't cook. It's not ideal. Again, it's not what I hoped for. But I'm no longer hungry. I'm eating. And I'm doing my best to keep up a healthy diet. It's all the more difficult now that I work at a fast food place again, but yeah, I'm trying. I hope I don't get fat. See? See how this works. But then you have those small moments. That's why we gotta get our heads out of our asses. I am talking to myself, preaching to the choir. And ground yourself and try to have as neutral as a perspective as you can. That's why we see things as opportunities instead of, well, instead of hell, instead of something that's going to destroy me. I have faith that I'm strong, and I am. I have been pushed to the brink so many times, and I've gotten myself through it, or Source also has helped. So faith and action in my mind are kind of one and the same. So I still have faith that I'm going in the right direction. Even if stuff does not look the way I want it to. How do I know this? Things that used to break me, even months ago, haven't. Things that I thought would control me forever. My anger has always been one of the biggest things I hated about myself. But as I heal and I work on myself and I do the shadow work, I'm finding out less and less truly makes me angry. In fact, I'm at a point right now, that it's just overload. There are days just like anyone else. I'm up against a wall and I'm in survival mode and I'm so tired and just done with everything. Yeah, one bad thing could go wrong and get me angry and I get triggered. But I don't hold the anger. I don't take it out on people. I don't barely take it out on myself anymore. I express it in a quasi-healthy way, punching the crap out of my pillow. And then I move forward. But like I said, I've even noticed that's just a state of mind. It's just me being overloaded that day. And that's normal. That's healthy. I mean, everyone has those days. It's just too much. But that separates from being an angry person. You know? That was something I was going to say specifically. I don't know if it ties in anymore. I don't think I need to voice that. Ooh, I am really grounded right now. What else do I gotta say about this? Don't beat yourself up for losing faith. Like I said, there's definitely been days. In fact, I think you're supposed to. It's a Fall Out Boy song. I don't remember exactly which one. We could be immortals, I think. We could be immortals. There's a line in there that says, the only good, or I'm gonna misquote it because it's been quite some time, but it says the only good or the only way to know of faith is for it to be tested again every day. every day. And it really does feel like that. Not that my life is a constant slew of just bad things, but it's just having faith that you'll get through it. And again, like I said, you kind of have to get your head out of your ass. Now I'm kind of looping the message. But if we're so distraught and so focused on the bad and focused on our hopes of changing the situation, we miss what's right in front of us, right at our feet. We miss the good signs. Like I said in a previous video, it wasn't some great grand gesture. In fact, I don't even know if I manifested it on purpose. I don't know what the deal was. One day I just had the idea, oh, let's go to the thrift store. I could use another little throw blanket to kind of stuff in my car for cushion. And again, the synchronicities line up so well. The thrift store I go to, I found out they're changing their tags, so they make it even more difficult to make the sale or make a discounted sale. I've noticed the tags get removed or shifted in a way that there are fewer items on sale. And again, I'm not saying this to dog the place, it's just making a point on the severity and the synchronicities. So I walk in the store and I truly expect not to see many of the tags of the color that are on sale. So when I walk in, and I'm just walking, just kind of perusing, not really looking at anything, being in a neutral perspective, I stopped. God, my neck. Oh, it's so many cricks. I stopped at the throw blankets because I saw the word Sonic. I was like, that's cool. And I looked at the blanket, and I can even show you if... I'm not going to be that big of a nerd. But I pulled it up. I'm like, yo, that's a cool blanket. I think I'm going to get this anyways. I looked down. It was on the 50% off tag. It's like, fucking getting this blanket. $3? Hell yeah! And that was a gift from the universe, from God, from whatever. And again, it wasn't something that changed my world, and it changed my situation. It was just a nice little nudge or a message, a reminder that, hey man, we're still here, alright? And again, I'm not trying to talk to you from someone on a soapbox preaching. It's from someone who is quite literally feels like going through hell. But my version of hell. And acknowledging and realizing the good in the situations around me the best that I can. It's those little moments, those little nuggets, those little seeds that keep the faith going. Just, for instance, like I said, I got a job. I didn't think I was going to get one. The last job I worked, even though I put in my 2 weeks, it was not amicable. They were not good people. They were treating me like shit while I was there. And I kinda did a little something that fucked him over on the way out the door. So, it's kind of bringing my own reckoning. It was not a vengeance. Honestly, I was kind of hoping to put them in a situation where they couldn't do it to anyone else. I said, if I do this thing, they won't be able to function in a way that puts anyone else down. And ironically, this is 5, 6, 7 months later, like present day now, when I was looking for the job that I got, I went and actually saw the position, the exact same position that I quit, still. Like, they're going through managers left and right. I'm not saying that's something I did, it's just, it was good that I got out of there. I wish I had a better exit plan. But even though it's illegal, I'm pretty sure they're saying bad things. Because I lost hope, I wasn't able to find a job. Well, I ended up walking into a fast food place that was just desperate enough they hired me on the spot. And again, it goes against my hopes. I had hoped I would have a better job, something different. something less stressful. But I have money. I'm getting money. I'm getting a paycheck. My life is subtly improving, even if it's not what I had hoped. That's actually really, really difficult to have faith. Because the biggest part of it is having faith. Having faith in being on the right path despite trudging through mud. It's like you're walking through a jungle in mud and mosquitoes are biting you, and you're like, yo, I don't feel like I took the right path. I feel like I got lost somewhere along the way. And I feel like such a fucking hypocrite. But referencing the Bible, talking about Jonah. If you believe the Bible, there are certain stories about people going through some crazy shit. Jonah, for those who don't know, got swallowed by a whale and lived. Now, he was there for a while. He was there for a while. It wasn't just like a 1 or 2 night thing. He was there for quite some time. And he made it through it. Or Job, I believe, if I'm not misquoting the Bible. Dude lost everything. Lost his family, lost his home. He ended up even in jail for something that he didn't even do. And the whole situation, the whole time, he kept up his faith. In fact, the guards thought he was fucking crazy. Because the whole book of Job is supposedly written from his letters. I don't remember who he was sending them to. I thought it was King David. Probably misquoting a lot of this. I haven't read a Bible in a while. In fact, I'm almost willing not to, but there's so much mixed in bullshit. Whitewashed for sure. But, he was writing these letters, and he's like, man, I feel bad for these guards. And the guards who will read him go, the hell's wrong with this motherfucker? Dude's in jail. Why is he saying he feels bad for the guards? You know? Well, it's because he had complete and utter faith that even though it wasn't where he expected it to be, he knew exactly he was supposed to be there. And that through his actions of keeping faith, he would eventually be liberated, and I believe he was. I don't remember how the story ends, to be honest with you. Kind of a bad analogy there. But it's not. Hope feels like expecting something from like a helicopter parent, you know? For the longest time, I've been thinking, all right, God, pull me out of this now. I did what you said. Okay, you're gonna deliver me. You're gonna deliver whatever you promised me. Are you gonna follow through and get me out of this situation? And then that's when hope's diminished because I'm still here. So, like I said, I'm just kind of getting back to that point of trying to keep faith that this is where I'm supposed to be. Because honestly, I have learned so many things that the old me would never even considered. And I don't just mean like spiritual insight, I mean like patience. Oh, you can bet I've been hella patient. I've learned to grow. I've learned to be more human. I'm learning to be more open. I'm learning to receive. Receiving's been a big one. Oh, excuse me. Acid reflux. Oh, so much fun. I just had a moment and then I burped and forgot about it. Come back to me, thoughts. Come back. Just pull them back in, like. Oh, yes, receiving. We're going back to that whole, hope and faith thing. Like, for instance, I hope to win the lottery kind of thing. Well, you hear the stories all the time, people win the lottery and then they end up flat broke. And they're like, well, how does that make any sense? You won the lottery. Well, that's because they never learned how to manage their money. Something big got dropped in their lap at their specific time of person. What I mean by that is they never learned how to handle that much. So a bunch of something got dropped in their lap and it overloaded them. And then they're in a worse off situation. That's a bad analogy. Let's put it to this one. I hope for love. Everyone hopes to find that perfect someone for themselves, that perfect partner, their soulmate, whatever you want to say. But I'd realized that I couldn't. Hope in that area was pointless because even if I met the perfect person, not that I have to be perfect myself, it's just I can't hold on to that love because of certain past traumas, certain shadow aspects, certain social programming. The version of me that wanted the love, not that I know, couldn't hold it. Just like the money. If I had this perfect woman dropped in my lap, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do, you know? I wouldn't know what to do. So, faith is knowing I'm on the path to what I want, what I desire, what was promised, so and so. In order to get that special love, I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn so many things. And I still am. Learning is always a continued journey. But that's where I am right now. I'm in a situation of learning. And although I don't have faith every day, I find myself circling back to it. Kind of like this message. I circle back to it. I have a bad day, I have a breakdown, I want to end it, whatever. And then again, something happens and brings my faith back, or brings me back to that road. Like I said, it doesn't mean it's easy. I'm tired. Both physically, mentally, spiritually. I'm tired. I'm tired of learning lessons. I'm tired of being here. But again, I'm ironically exactly where I should be. I do feel a little false saying that because part of me wants to resist it and be like, no, I hate it here. It sucks. I'm so tired of it. But again, how would I have learned any lesson if I had stayed where I was? There is a purpose. I just don't get to know it quite yet. Part of it I do, part of it I don't. I can't really talk on that. Let's just say, for instance, a math teacher has to know math to teach math. If you asked me to go teach calculus or trigonometry, I wouldn't even know where to begin. So, based on what you go through, I'm just really curious what kind of person I'll be when I'm done. Or whatever. I'm not saying when I'm done. It was a bad saying. I just I'm curious who I'm turning into, I guess. Who I'm growing to be. Because supposedly every milestone on the path was needed. Again, losing a job, quitting a job, all lessons to develop a version of me that I want to be. I had to walk away from that job. I had to set boundaries. The first job or one of the main jobs I got fired from, I had to learn to set boundaries. I had to learn, and all of that I'm using in my current job. Sure, I want money and it's important, but I've had to set boundaries with work. I'm sleeping in my fucking car, bro. I need sleep. Working 10, 12-hour shifts is actually not conducive for me. That's not going to help me. It's going to burn me the hell out and land me in the hospital. So, right now, in my current self, my current state, I am putting forth the lessons that I've learned and having faith that it's leading me where I need to go. So faith in myself and faith in the universe, whatever you want to call it. And then there's a big sense of detachment too, that's important. I'm not even going to go into that. As the Inferno says, abandon all hope, ye who enter. Because hope, I don't feel like it's grounded. It's not useful. It keeps you in a dream state. It keeps you in a limbo state. I don't even think it's healthy anymore. I think I'm done talking. Hopefully you guys learned something from this and I'm not just rambling. Even if it is just to get off my chest, so be it. So be it. I hope you learned something. And I have faith that you did. Excuse me. I kind of wish, when I'm beating myself up over this, I just get to the point where my faith is done being tested. I'm gonna get to a point where I'm just zen and I'm happy, regardless of the situation. But then I think that'd be giving up some of my humanity almost. Because it's normal to feel stressed and tired and weighing on faith. I don't know if I'll ever be a guy who's just completely happy no matter what. I'd like to be. I hope to be. But we'll see. Because part of this is just being human. Hope you enjoyed my video. Like and subscribe, whatever. Lord, let me actually absorb this message. Help me stay faithful to myself and to the path. Primarily myself. Because that's all you really need. Just be faithful to yourself. Abandoning oneself kind of gets you out of alignment. Like I kind of said, having faith is walking into a situation knowing you'll be okay, and whatever choices you make will still lead you to where you need to go. Just help me keep having faith. Even when things look bleak. Even if things seem the opposite. More faith in myself. Help me see more of myself, more of my strengths. Confidence is important, because without it, I wouldn't have faith. I feel like those two go hand in hand as well. Having confidence in myself helps me hold up the faith. Yeah. I'm done. I need sleep. I'm gonna get me some sleep. You guys have a good whenever you're watching this. Just like Jim Carrey from The Truman Show. In case I don't see you, have a good evening, good afternoon, and a good night.